special Liverpool international break wrap up, otherwise known as I am sick and tired of the international break, and I would very much like it to go away now. And it's doing my head in. Live stream, basically. Yeah. Look, obviously, before I start this, we all needed a bit of a break from the Reds. I think it's fair to say. The season has not gone well. In fact, ever since we won the league title, the whole thing's turned into a bit of annus horribilis, as Her Majesty the Queen once said. Um, yeah, it's been pretty awful, to be honest. Ever since ever since we won the title, it just seems like it's been one horrendous ordeal slash fiasco and debacle, one after another. Um, but yeah, I mean, hopefully the lads can come back. Hopefully they're refreshed. Hopefully they've enjoyed the international break. Hopefully they can just get back to being the guys that we know, because obviously that last 2 months. I mean, look, when um, we beat Southampton and we were 7 points clear. 7 points clear. We won 7 games on the bounce, and we were all happily bouncing into Crystal Palace. Obviously, Crystal Palace was always going to be a difficult game, it goes without saying, but I don't think any of us thought that what has happened was about to happen. I mean, literally, since the moment that Eddie Nketiah scored that hilariously unfunny goal, I mean, it's just been a complete debacle, hasn't it? Give or take, obviously, the Villa result and Villa, what is it, Frankfurt and Real Madrid. Ironically enough, the three teams they did actually beat, who technically, strictly speaking, were probably the hardest bloody games that they actually had. Yeah, no, it's just been a bit of a fiasco. So I just thought I would talk about what's going on with the Reds, what's to come, basically, because obviously we have this vaunted so-called easy run of fixtures, which I suspect is probably not going to be as easy as many of us are hoping slash anticipating. I mean, there is the issue with Liverpool not only winning games, which we've hardly won any in like 2.5 months. I can't remember the last time other than Villa and Madrid that we actually won back to backs. I mean, it's been what, 2.5 months other than that. So yeah, yeah, I just thought I'd talk a little bit about it, and I will open up the floor, obviously, to you guys, anyone that's watching. Yeah, and we'll just have a good old chat about just what the hell Liverpool are actually going to put us through the next 4 months. I will just say politely that when I get paid next week, and knowing that we've got a lot of Liverpool to look forward to, I will probably be buying something in the region of 20 bottles of wine, uh, probably 10 bottles of spirits, and probably something in the region of 120 cans of lager just to get me through till, I was going to say March, but I mean, it could be bloody Christmas the way we've been going, to be honest. So, so yeah, I'll get into all that. I've got a bit of an itinerary, so I'll talk about some bits and pieces. Just as per usual, bit of housekeeping. Obviously, this will be on YouTube podcasts, and it will also be a YouTube video. Obviously, goes without saying, and it'll probably be ready for download, I would imagine, about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, probably when some of you guys are coming out from work. So if you can't join me tonight, obviously you're more than welcome to listen to it in full form. Just shout out to everyone who's been watching the lives as well recently. Like, the numbers from when I first started are just like, look, I mean, I know Logan Paul. That was a really bad example, actually. I know James O'Brien. We'll go James O'Brien. We like James O'Brien. Yeah, but like the numbers from a lad who didn't actually know how to do this, like literally a few months ago to now, are just insane. And obviously, we've had a lot of subscribers and a lot of love towards the channel. So yeah, thank you everyone as per usual. Yeah, so might as well get into it. So I suppose the first thing to talk about is the vaunted international break. So off the top of my head, in terms of our lads, Hugo Ekitike got his first goal for France. If you've not seen that, by the way, not that I have no interest other than those lads. I have no interest in international football anymore. I mean, it is. I'm honest to God, if I was offered the chance to watch paint dry for 5 hours and watch an international football game, it would have to be a bit of a toss up. I mean, I tried to watch a couple of them, and I mean, my goodness, some of them have been absolutely diabolical. I think I've watched. I had the pleasure of watching Wales versus Luxembourg the other day. Yeah, that wasn't great to be completely honest. Oh, I've just had an alert actually. Apparently, Florian Wirtz has made an assist this evening. Gackers has scored, and Virgil van Dijk, I'm just trying to read that, has set some sort of record. So I don't actually know what any of them have done this evening because, like I said, I haven't paid any attention whatsoever. Obviously, we've barely got. I mean, I don't think we've even got. Have we got anyone playing for England anymore? I don't know if Curtis Jones actually went. Was he fit in the end? I probably am guessing not. I mean, it's quite weird actually the England situation. Look, but I mean, look, it's always been a bit dodgy with England and Liverpool for fairly obvious reasons. But I mean, I can't even think of any of our players who were actually even in the bloody squad. To be honest, I mean, yeah, because I mean, obviously Trent left. Um, Obviously Gerald left, so that drops us down two English players. There's someone probably really obvious, isn't there, that I'm missing? Yeah, obviously Curtis Jones, and I think that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously Rio's still involved with the. I think he's with the under 21s, under 18s. I forget where he is at the minute. He scored a right goal the other day. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It was really, really good run, really good, fantastic finish. Like I said, I'm not totally sure where Rio's playing at the moment. I want to say it's in under 18s or something like that. But yeah, he scored a goal. Unfortunately, the trials of Milos Kerkez continue. He was put out of the World Cup in its entirety in Hungary, along with Dominic Soboslai, by Ireland, who scored a last-minute goal through. I want to say it's Troy Parrott, the lad that used to play for Tottenham back in the day. And I want to say he's playing in the Eredivisie. I can never pronounce that properly. Um, I don't know who he's playing for. Feyenoord, maybe. I've got absolutely no idea. But yes. So just just when you think it can't get any worse for our players' confidence, Sobo and Milos Kerkez will not be playing at the World Cup next year, which kind of helps us next summer, I guess. But in terms of their mood, obviously not great. Mo played one match and Egypt allowed him to return, which was really good. I think we've got a bit of a problem coming with that pretty much down the line, especially with Mo and the Egyptian Federation, because it's looking like they want him before Brighton, possibly even before Inter Milan. Now, I think Liverpool, from what I'm given to understand, were under the impression that he would be allowed to leave just before the Tottenham game. In fact, maybe even a push play the Tottenham game, and they're now saying that he might have to go 2 games early. Which I mean, look, obviously there's not a great deal Liverpool could do about that because under international, like the ridiculous federation law, we have to let him go, despite the fact we're paying the man £400,000 a year, which I don't really understand, but still. Yes, obviously we'll be losing him, which is going to impact the team, not in terms of Salah's numbers or anything, because obviously, like most of the teams, Mo Salah has been. Look, like I said, I'll always preface this. Mo Salah is possibly the best player that's ever played for Liverpool Football Club. He's been an absolutely fantastic servant. He's a thoroughly bloody decent bloke. He's done so much for this football team, for the city, for the fans. We wouldn't have. I don't think we would have won 80% of the titles that we've won the last 10 years without Mo Salah. Absolute legend, and he will come good again. But having said all that, this season he's been awful, and that's just a fact. He's just been very, very poor. Obviously, some of his numbers are still not too bad. I want to say Mo's got 6 goals, maybe 2 or 3 assists, which for an average player, you're probably thinking, yeah, I'm pretty decent with that. But obviously, the trouble is Mo Salah is not an average footballer. So yeah, obviously we are going to miss him. But I mean, up front is one of the areas really, if there's no injuries, that we can probably take the hit from. To be completely honest, I mean, in form, one would hope that Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, Jeremy Frimpong, potentially as a winger, um, Rio Ingamoa, Federico Chiesa, and Cody Gakpo, maybe even Jaden Danns if he can get himself back in January. I mean, I don't know how severe his injury is, but one would hope with that sort of level of talent, especially when they're being supplied by Dom, Grav, and Maka, one would hope that would be enough. But I mean, obviously, a lot of the look. This is the trouble. I mean, obviously, we were all expecting to be in quite a decent position when Mo left, but in terms of who is going to get the goal, I mean, I know it sounds really, really stupid. This, I mean, I haven't got a clue to be quite honest. I think probably the most obvious person is Cody Gakpo. I mean, I'm going to talk about Alex Isak in a minute, but as I say, I know it's been a bit of a stressful time for him. He's moved. He had the whole thing in the summer. He didn't train, yada yada yada, and he's come to a new club and etc etc. Got himself injured and blah blah blah. Um, let's just have it right. He hasn't been very good. Um, clearly, you know, I mean, one goal out of what is it, I want to say 7 games. He's not. I would have been expecting 2 or 3 goals out of the 7 or 8 games that he's played. But look, at the end of the day, he's had a bit of a frustrating start. Hopefully, this is the start of something for him, and we'll just have to see. Swig of water for the working man, excuse me. Yeah, so if you're listening for the first time and you're listening on YouTube podcasts, like most of my subscribers will know, if I happen to go quiet for a couple of minutes, it's because I'm having to drink and basically not drink obviously, as much as I would like a beer actually this evening. Uh, yeah, I can't go like 3 or 4 minutes without a gulp of water, so I do apologise. Um, okay, that's a bit of a weird one. Where am I from? I'm from Leeds, in the UK, my friend. Um, yeah, what was the other thing I was going to talk about? Like I said, and if you're wondering why I keep looking over here, base my laptop with all my notes is here because I'm not one of these clever YouTubers that can remember this stuff off the top of my brain. Yeah, because I is stupid, as they used to say back in the day. So if you're wondering why I keep looking over here, it's to look at my nose. In terms of the injuries, I mean, that's another good thing about this run coming up for Liverpool. So, Jeremy Frimpong, as far as I'm aware, is now fit. Alison Becker is back in training. Curtis Jones, the last I heard, was fit, and obviously Alexander Isak came back before the international break, so you would imagine most of them would have been in training, at least of some description. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Arna's pretty much providing everyone comes through this evening. I mean, after tonight, I want to say we've maybe got Alexis McAllister who still needs to play. I don't know if Sobo's got another game. I wouldn't have thought so. They've probably come back by now. Um, unless they've got like a. In fact, I don't know if Hungary have got another game. Maybe they've got like a game that's like totally irrelevant now. Who knows? But you would have thought they'll be coming back at least by tomorrow. Obviously, Feddy didn't go anywhere, so he's had a whole 2 weeks worth of training, which is pretty sweet. Alex Isak went to Sweden. I don't know if they've played this evening, possibly. So, but again, providing he comes through unaffected, he should be all ready to go. So, I mean, in terms of squad, I mean, in terms of the injuries, I don't think we've actually got that many. Obviously, Stefan Bajcetic is. I mean, who knows what's happening with that kid? I mean, I don't think I've seen Stefan Bajcetic kick a ball for 18 months, 2 years now, to be quite honest. Obviously, Jaden Dams, no one really knows what's going on with him. But at the end of the day, like, we are pretty blessed in that area, so that's not a huge loss, but I just wish Jaden all the best because he is a class forward. And I hope he can get his career back on track and everything. Because I mean, obviously, it's not his fault getting the injuries. In terms of then, so obviously, as you might have seen on the thumbnail, I think I wrote, and this may have been when I was out with the lads having a few beers, so hence why it looks a bit weird. Um, I may have wrote something along the lines of "Can Liverpool perform a miracle" or something along that along them lines. I don't know. I can't remember what I wrote, to be honest. Um, the miracle being, could Liverpool still win the league? Now, my answer to that is no. I think they've left themselves far too much to do. So let me put it this way: I did a little bit of adding up and a bit of math, as the Americans would say. Am I Indian? Nope, I'm not. I'm from this country. There you go. Well, not from, but I am part of that country and also British. Um, in terms of Liverpool winning the league, the situation is thus. If I've got this right, I think for Liverpool to get to something in the region of 87 points, which still might not win the league, but at the moment, if you were to offer me 87 points, I would rip your arm off for it, to be honest. But for Liverpool to get, this is 87, this isn't 90s anymore or 100s or anything like that. We would have to win 24 games from 27. That is the reality. Now, obviously, everyone's beating everyone at the moment, which is good. But I mean, if either Arsenal or Man City or Chelsea go on a run now and put 10 games together, basically that finishes us off. We're now in a situation we would need to make significant inroads, at least into Arsenal. I mean, look, if we're 3 or 4 points behind Man City going into March, which I would absolutely rip your arm off for it right now. Um, you've still got a chance. If we're like 11, 12 points behind Arsenal, then obviously it's completely game over. So Liverpool's mission now, if they do still, if the players feel as if they can win the title, because apparently there was some report coming out for the training ground, basically, I don't know, something on the lines, basically the Liverpool players are all saying to each other they are expecting to be in a title race, so fair play to them if they are, but I just think I think they've left themselves far too much to do. I mean, look, if they won 20 games out of 27, I mean, I would take that at the minute, quite frankly. But I mean, that's what you're talking 60 points at 18, so you're talking 68. That's maybe enough to scrape into a Champions League place. This is the issue that we now have, and if it turns into a Champions League battle, you've got Tottenham, you've got Villa. I honestly don't think Bournemouth are going away. Obviously, Crystal Palace are doing really well. Newcastle will come flying back at that table, I'm sure. Arsenal and Man City have already got the top two, basically, as far as I'm concerned. And then you've got Chelsea, um, probably a couple of others as well. So, I mean, if it turns into a Champions League battle, I mean, we are in very, very serious trouble of missing out on the Champions League, let alone the league. So, um, obviously, if any of my regular subs end up on this stream, you can let me know, or you can let me know in the comments when it comes out of the video. Can Liverpool still win the league? Can they win 24 out of 27? I mean, you never know, 84 points might be enough. Um, After all, I think, didn't we win on 85 points last year? Well, 84 or 85 might be enough, so they could possibly get away with 23, but they would have to win between at least bare minimum now 22 to 23 just to get into the 80s, and I just don't think we're going to be consistent enough to do that. And I I would be very surprised if Arsenal don't hit 90 at minimum. I think City might just miss out. I still fully expecting Arsenal to win the league, to be honest. I think that personally, and this isn't me having a dig at Man City at all. I just think Arsenal are a level above Man City for me this season. I mean, I actually think I mean, you could make a very compelling argument for saying that Arsenal have got a better squad and a better team than Manchester City. I mean, obviously, Manchester City have got the best striker in world football. It's as simple as that they have. Phil Foden seems to be playing well again, and so on and so forth. I like the look of Marmoush and Ryan Chekri. He looked pretty decent as well. But I mean, if you look all over the park, to be honest, Arsenal just seem to me to have a very good team. So I'd be very surprised if they're not hitting 90. And if they hit 90, then it's game over for us. I mean, you're talking it's 78. You'd be talking like at least 7 or 8 points behind them if that. So can Liverpool win the league? I'm just going to say, to be honest, no. I just can't say. Look, I would love to be on the Strand next May, completely free sheets to the wind with several beers in my hand, with flares and like a pizza slice hanging out of my mouth or whatever, like celebrating win number 21. But I honestly, I just cannot see it, to be honest. Um, in terms of the Champions League, same thing. Let me have a look. DJ O'Kane 254. What's good, bro? Not too bad, thanks, mate. How about you? Welcome. In terms of the Champions League, I just don't think we've got enough quality. I mean, like, look, we've got the quality. I mean, Liverpool. I mean, this is the trouble when we looked at the squad in the summer after we'd had that amazing summer of transfers. I mean, I was looking at that, and I didn't ever think we were going to smash the league by any stretch. I thought people were going way too far with this Galacticos nonsense and stuff. But I did think to myself, well, I mean, we should at least be in a title race. You would have thought. I mean, even if we lose out by 6, 7 points, as long as Liverpool are always in and around winning the league title, and if they don't, we've seen it loads of times, and that's fine. That's not a problem. But I know that I'd given up by the age of 30. When was I when we won the league? 37, 38. I just was just like, we're never going to win the league while I'm alive. I had completely and utterly given up. And as it is, we've won two in 6 years. You know what I mean? So I've kind of got the thing that I always wanted as a child. I know, obviously, the younger contingent amongst you want dynasties and 5 or 6 league titles and about. Newsflash, that ain't gonna happen. Liverpool don't do that. We don't follow up trophies. We win trophy after trophy after trophy, but sometimes they're different trophies. You know what I mean? So I don't think Liverpool have done back to back league titles. I was reading this the other day. I want to say it was in the Guardian. I want to say it's 1983, 1984. I mean, that is a long time ago, to be honest, and I just can't see. In terms of the Champions League, I think you're talking Bayern Munich, you're talking Paris Saint Germain. I know we absolutely hammered Real Madrid, but I mean it's Real Madrid. They'll end up with the semi-finals. I think Barcelona look pretty decent. Um, yeah, I mean, look, Liverpool. I mean, Arsenal. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal end up. I mean, God forbid, because honestly, the rest of us will never hear the end of it. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal won the league and the Champions League. Wouldn't surprise me at all, because look, I know it's been amusing for everyone Arsenal not winning the trophy. Hey, depression talk. How you doing, mate? You're all right. Nice to see you, pal. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, I know it's been highly amusing Arsenal not winning their trophies and then being the quote unquote banter club, blah blah blah. But it can't go on forever. They have to, surely that even if it's the League Cup, I mean, they have to win a trophy out of one of them four. It, I actually think if Arsenal don't win a trophy this year, I mean, it's pretty outrageous, to be honest. I mean, what League Cup they've got Crystal Palace now, who obviously knocked us out. I mean, you'd imagine Arsenal at the Emirates will beat them, then they're into the semis, get a decent draw. I mean, if they can avoid basically, if Arsenal avoid Man City till the final, I mean, they've got a really good chance of winning that. I mean, I don't see anyone else in the competition that can really stop them. The league, I don't know. I think they're clear favourites now. Clear favourites. But obviously, they still have to go to the Etihad. So that is the thing with that. And the Champions League, obviously, that's just. I mean, at the end of the day, I know it's quality and stuff, but it's just a qualified free for all at the end of the day. So, yeah, they'll win. So I mean, obviously, the FA Cup's just a complete crapshoot, and it's a lottery, and like anyone can win that at the end of the day. But if Arsenal don't win something this season, I mean, there's people talking about Arne Slot, which is ludicrous, frankly. But um, I don't see Arteta surviving if he. I mean, if he wins the FA Cup and just misses out of the league, I think most Arsenal fans will probably think, well, at least we've now broke the trophy duck. Maybe I mean I don't even know if you can survive that. I think possibly he needs to win one of the big two. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. So go on. And as I do that, my laptop decides to go off. That's not useful with all my notes. Um, yeah, I think the other thing I was going to talk about, like I said, there's quite a few bits and pieces. There wasn't like a set agenda, to be honest, guys. So if anyone's got any points about Liverpool, just jump in. If not, I will carry on waffling on. Um, yeah, I mean, look, the main thing is Liverpool need to go on a run. So I'm going to talk about the fixtures we've got coming on. But the absolutely main thing that we need is no more conceding at the start and end of first halves and second halves. They need to be switched off at the start. No more daft concession of goals from corners. No more conceding from throw-ins, free kicks, this, that, and the other. Oh, that's fine. Depression talk. Don't worry about it, mate. It's nice to have you here, pal. Um, yeah, Liverpool just need to stop. Basically, we need to stop. For want of a better phrase, how to put this being shit. And conceding stupid goals basically with just utter and complete nonsense. So yeah, that's the first thing that I need to do. The Champions League, as I say, is Rob, how you doing? Yeah, I don't think I've ever said my name actually. Leon, how you doing? You're all right. Yeah, funnily enough, my parents didn't give me the name Geek Boy Matter because that would just be really weird. But yeah. I actually prefer Geek Boy Matter, but you can call me Leon. That's fine. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So in terms of the Champions League, I mean, look, we need possibly a win and a draw to qualify for that. I'm not bothered. Good to know you, man, as well. I've got to be honest. I know people are saying, "Oh, we need to avoid this playoff match." Blah, 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 blah. Look, folks, as long as we get through to the knockout phases, if we have to play an extra two games, then so be it. I couldn't give a toss about them getting in the top eight, frankly. I mean, look, if they can get in the top eight and avoid like the wretched playoff match, then fine. But as long as we are in the draw, the hat for the draw, the hat for the draw, yes. As long as we have got, hey, how you doing, mate? You all right? Hello, I'm him. I'm still not calling you that, bro. Um, yeah, look, as long as we're basically long term short after the group stages, providing we still have a chance of qualifying for the knockout stages, the Champions League, that's fine. They can put that away, and if they have to do a qualifying game, then so be it. So they should be all right with that. Obviously, the FA Cup, it's like I say, it's just a crapshoot at the end of the day. I mean, we'll have to wait and see who they get. I'm really, really hoping. No, I'm not calling you that, Brer, as my son would say. I hope I pronounced that right. Um, yeah, no. The FA Cup, look, to be quite honest, like we are, I mean, Liverpool hopeless at the FA Cup, absolutely hopeless. Obviously, I've said this before to you guys, but I've supported Liverpool for 36 years, and I want to say we've won the FA Cup 4 times, which is fine. That's always good to, how you doing, mate? Which is fine. Look, that's a lot more than a lot of other people win it, and I'm grateful that we've won those trophies. But if you take our FA Cup wins out, and like I can't remember every single exit over 36 years, but I was astonished if we've not been knocked out at least 15, 16 times before the third or, well, not before the third round, obviously, but before the fourth round. We must have gone out to lower league opposition at least 10 times in those 36 years that I've been a fan. And off the top of my head, I can remember a semi-final against Aston Villa. I want to say Phil Coutinho scored, and then we just played like crap and basically lost the semi. Other than that, we've had a couple of quarterfinals here and there, but yeah, well, I was just talking about Liverpool. I'm him basically. So how rubbish or how good they're going to be, because like I said, I really don't know what's going to happen with them. I've made all these notes, and I've got to be honest, mate. I have absolutely no idea what sort of Liverpool we're going to see. I'm hoping we're going to see the good Liverpool. There's something just telling me it ain't going to happen for us this season. Look, I'm as you guys know, stress and anxiety, and I'm sometimes glass slightly half full. Um, Maybe a bit more glass empty than a lot of Liverpool fans, to be honest. But there's just something that's not sitting right with me this season, just in general. Yeah. Uh, would it be offended if I tell you I've always been a Man United supporter? Get off my channel. No, 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 of course not, mate. That's fine. Look, obviously I have no love for Man United, dude, but like, yeah, dude, that's absolutely fine. It's not a problem at all. One of my best friends, to be honest, Depression Talk, that I've known for how long have I known me? One of my best mates. So I was a groomsman at his wedding. How long have I known him for? 25, 26 years. Um, yeah, and he, funnily enough, actually, seeing as I tell random stories, when I was at university, because when obviously when you go to university, you've got that ridiculous thing where no one knows anyone and you're wandering around like a scared little rabbit like this. um, and then this bloke comes running up to me. So I won't describe him fully because obviously he's not on social media, but this uh, American chap basically comes running up to me and said, because I basically turned up in Leeds with a full Liverpool kit on, not the kit, but just, shirt and jacket and all this sort of stuff. Um, and he's like, "Are you a football fan?" And I think my first reaction was, "Wow, you noticed." And basically we were mates ever since then. But then he kind of casually dropped in. We went for a few bites. He was like, "So you do know I'm a Man United fan, right?" And like, obviously, I'm quite chill with that sort of thing now because I'm a fully grown adult. At the end of the day, with a child, I don't give a toss about that sort of thing. But there was once a geek boy met. I am quite ashamed to say this, about 25 years ago, who was not quite as chill as me at that point. Then I was a bit of a, well, again, I will I will break the swearing code. I was a bit of a dick back in the day, to be completely honest with that sort of thing. And I was just, I'd like my ex girlfriend would be like, "Oh, say if we was a party or whatever, we'd be like, oh, there's a man over there who's a Man United fan." I would literally say, "Right, I'm going to the other side of the room." She was like, "You are?" It's like, "You heard me." Yeah, I was one of those. Just one of those, basically. I think I once walked out of a wedding because, again, the poor ex-Mrs. Fed, we're still friends to this day now, but because I actually refused to be in the same hall as him during the wedding. Oh dear God, honestly, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I was. I don't know if I was just telling you that for. Weren't we all? Oh, depression, honestly, mate. I can tell you right now, son, you wouldn't have been anywhere near as bad as me. There will be no one of any of you guys that follow me anywhere near as bad as me and done the stupid, ridiculous things that I used to try and pull off in my early 20s, because obviously when we're all in the 20s, we all think we're invincible, and life has a way of showing you that you are not invincible, and as you get older, you kind of become comfortable with that, and you turn into less of a moron, basically. So there we go. Yeah, so what was I going to say? So basically, I suppose my main point was, in terms of this run we've got coming up that everyone's got really excited about, despite the fact we've just lost 7 games out of 10. So, because I'm a geek, as the name implies, off the top of my head, our run is as thus: Nottingham Forest at home, PSV Eindhoven at home, West Ham away, Sunderland at home, Leeds United, oh dear God, because Ellen Road is literally, you can't see it, but you literally go down the street, round the corner from this house that I'm sat in. I don't know why I'm earth and pointing for, because you can't see it. Down another couple of streets, and you go down this big, big road called Ellen Road, surprisingly enough. And then you're at Ellen Road. So, and I can't get away from it at all because my missus is also a Leeds United fan. So, if Liverpool could, all I ask for Liverpool is the next 5 weeks, do not lose to Leeds United. I know this won't mean a lot of things to other Liverpool fans who will end up watching this because they'll be like, "Bro, we need to every single match." Yeah, but like um, but long story short, we cannot lose to Leeds United, especially not Ellen Road, because honestly, with the lads that I know, I will never, and I'm due to go out with them Christmas booze in about a week afterwards as well. I will never hear the end of it. Never hear the. I mean, literally last time, this might make you laugh, but when we lost 2-1 to Leeds, I don't know if anyone remembers, about once it's 3 years ago, it was on that horrendous run when we bought. Darwin Núñez and everything was going wrong. It was the year after we nearly won the quadruple. Um, and we lost 2-1 to Leeds in the last minute. I want to say that Somerville kid scored. Dude, you would think that Leeds United had won the Premier League. I mean, I'm not making a word of this up. Outside my house, there's fireworks going off. There's literally there's borderline street parties. There was some fella, me and the missus went out for a mug of tea, because we're very boring adults and we usually have a cup of tea before we retire to the bedroom quarters. Um, and there was this bloke literally down the road, not far off, stark naked, literally running down the road. He looked like the I can't describe the character's name because it's probably not hugely appropriate anymore. But any of you guys have watched Family Guy, um, put it this way: the first half of his name was Greased Up, um, and he was the one that used to say, "You're never gonna catch me." And literally, this Leeds United fan is running down the road, other than the pants on his arse, basically more or less stark blooming naked, running down the road. And I'm literally sat there with a mug of coffee, going, Jesus Christ! I mean, I'm not pleased we've lost to Leeds, but dude, you've just won a match at Anfield, and literally, it was the whole city, like it was like Partyville. I'd never seen anything like it. I was like, well, I'm glad you're all happy, but I mean, bloody hell. So yeah, I really, really would have preferred that Leeds United did not beat us at all, to be honest. So yeah, after Leeds, let me try and think. We've got Inter Milan away from home, Brighton at home. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. We've got Brighton at home, Tottenham away, so that free isn't wonderful, but you'd still fancy us to get a result in maybe one of them. Then after the Christmas break, obviously you've got Wolves. Then we've got the return against Leeds United at Anfield, which is on January the 1st, which is going to be hilarious for those of us who like a drink. Um, and then after that, we've got Fulham away, FA Cup third round. So hopefully, I don't know, bloody Cambridge at Anfield. By the way, cheap shout and cheap plug. If we get a decent draw in the FA Cup, i.e., someone who, like Accrington that we did last season, I'm immediately going to buy a ticket for hospitality if I can afford it. Mommy, if you're watching, can I have 100 quid for hospitality? Thank you. Love you, son. Uh, so yeah, hopefully I'll be able to go to the FA Cup match, and then after all that, we've got Arsenal at the Emirates. The point to be reading all that out is, I mean, I think that's probably going to be the easiest section of the city. I mean, I say easiest, but I mean, there's nothing easy for us at the minute. But like, we can't, we really fixture wise, we can't really ask for a better set of results than that, set of fixtures. Sorry, than that. I mean, if this was Liverpool last season, I mean, you'd probably be thinking, well, I mean, out of them, I mean, I don't know how many there is, but I want to say there's maybe 11 games. I've just said maybe 12. I mean, you'd be thinking to yourself, well, you fancy winning at least 8 or 9 of them. I mean, to be quite frank, if someone came along and said, right, guaranteed you will lose 3 of them, draw 2 and 7, do you accept it? I'd probably shake on it, to be quite honest, but we'll have to wait and see. So it's crucial that Liverpool, look, the league's gone for us, like I said, as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. But in terms of Champions League qualification, whatever, Liverpool needs to be winning, I would say 70 to 80% of those games. The concern I more have at the minute from a Liverpool standpoint is, and I don't want to be one of these guys, but if you think we've lost 7 games out of the last 10, if Arne Slot was to turn up by the Brighton game, which is on December the 13th, I want to say, if he's lost 6 on the bounce, and if we then lost to Brighton and then didn't win at Spurs, now I appreciate that it's a bit of a stretch, this, but I mean, you never know. You are talking that's borderline going to be a record of maybe 4 wins out of 14 and 10 defeats. Would he survive? I'd probably keep him on. and keep him on to the summer, see if we could sort it all out. I don't think there's a guarantee. So when I say this month is very important, it's very important for everyone across the board. Because the last thing Liverpool need to be doing, we do not need to be changing managers in the middle of the season. I am aware some people want slot out, and that's fine. That's your guys' opinions. I don't want to be changing managers in the middle of the season. It's not exactly known as a recipe for success as the best of times. And like I said before, when people have said I want to slot out, and when I've turned around and said who do you want, I mean the silence is definitely. It's like, well, just someone better. It's like, right, okay, let's go through it. Luis Enrique, why is he leaving PSG? No chance. Xabi Alonso, Real Madrid, no chance. Vincent Kompany managing Liverpool, no chance, and also no thank you for obvious reasons. Um, Someone asked me about Zinedine Zidane the other day. It's like, I mean, he hasn't coached a football team for nearly 6 years. No, absolutely not. The fellow that I forget the Borussia Dortmund coach's name, but he seems to be doing quite well. Maybe no. I mean, obviously people like Poch and Tuchel and who's the German coach? That young lad who seems to be a 30 permanently. I forgot his bloody name. The one who managed Hoffenheim. Anyway, him. They're all doing international coaching. Would their federations allow any of them to coach Liverpool part time in the run to the World Cup? I would probably suggest not. I mean, after that, I mean, in this country, what Unai Emery is he a good fit for Liverpool? He's a very, very good coach. Possibly, maybe I don't know. Oliver Glasner halfway through the season, maybe. Um, Eddie Howe. I mean, does that work at all with Liverpool? Absolutely not for me. The only one who the basic what I'm getting at is Arne Slot got fired for basically losing the next 6 7 games on the bounce. The only football manager that I would personally be happy with is Andoni Iraola. Um, Bournemouth. I mean, if we come with the begging bowl to Bournemouth and say, hello, we would like to take your manager mid-season, please. Fine, Bournemouth. I'm turning around and saying, oh, yeah, of course you can have him. Brilliant. 40 million quid. And if they turn and Liverpool turn and said, 40 million quid for a manager, that's outrageous. I'd be like, that's the price, take it or leave it. Bye. And I'd be putting the phone down. So Donny Iraola is I love the way that Bournemouth play basically. Obviously they're quite the only trouble with Iraola again is obviously his Bournemouth teams can throw in the odd clanger. I mean they got battered the other day by who did they lose to the other day? Was it I can't remember. Did they lose 4-0? Was it someone like Crystal Palace randomly or something like that? But obviously, they play decent football. Obviously, I know Antoine Semenyo because he's one of the best players that plays for Ghana and is also very strongly linked with Liverpool. Liverpool, if you are listening as a club, please buy Antoine Semenyo. And yes, I am incredibly biased, but honestly, guys, that man, because I watch him play for Ghana on a regular basis, this guy is amazing. And he is going to be one of the best players in world football. And I guarantee that within the next 2 years. Um, where on earth you would put him at the minute, Christ alone only knows. But like, if there is a chance for Liverpool to get Antoine Semenyo for what is it, 65 million quid? I mean, basically that's our back in the day version of maybe 15, 16 million quid. Still a lot of money, obviously, but like honestly, he'd be worth his weight in gold. And if the plan is for Salah to do one more year after this, maybe you do it now. I mean, I don't see a situation. Cause I'm going on a bit of a tangent in a minute. I'll answer the comments, guys, in a minute. Just forgive me for waffling on, but I don't see a world where Cody Gakpo and Fede Chiesa are at that football club in 2 years. Is Mo Salah there in 2 years? I can't see it, to be quite honest. You get Semenyo in now for the future. Maybe you've got Semenyo, Isak, Ekitike with Verts behind them. I mean, that'll be pretty sweet. Look, because at the end of the day, Isak and Verts will, I mean, whether they'll have spectacular careers at Liverpool, we don't know. They will come good for a period of time at some point. I'm absolutely convinced of that because they're too good players not to. But Obviously, it's going to take a bit of jiggery pokery going forward, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me just read some of your comments because I'm aware I'm being completely rude. Let me have a look. I had a question to my brother is a lifelong Liverpool fan, and I only decided to support Manchester United. Touche, my friends, touche. I much prefer rugby. I used to watch rugby back in the day. I watched rugby union when it was like Will Carling and Jeremy Guscott and David Campese and Jonah Lumu. So this is a long, long time ago, mate. You're talking this is like 30 odd years ago. So I used to watch Union. I didn't really watch League a lot. I've watched a bit of rugby league since I've been in Leeds, obviously, because they have a reasonably decent team who the locals were slightly fond of, to say the least. But yeah, I used to watch rugby, but not so much anymore. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, mate? Nice to hear from you again, pal. Hi, mate. Love your show. I'm glad Liverpool won the league when we did. Think the best way of Liverpool winning the Premier League is Liverpool go all out in the Champions League and the FA Cup. To be honest, Kevin, that's kind of what I'm getting at too, mate. I don't see a world we win the Premier League. I just don't. I really don't. Obviously, it's crucial before we start thinking about winning Champions League, if that's even a thing. We must make sure that we are firmly ensconced in the top five or top four, whatever the coefficient's going to be. Because, I mean, there's a bit of a problem coming down the pipe. If Liverpool do not qualify for the Champions League, which I didn't, I must confess, that was my one slightly arrogant thing. I didn't think we'd blow the league away. I always thought it was going to be really difficult to retain the league. But I don't know, Red Men were on about it about 3 months ago. I think Mate was saying something along the lines of, well, I mean, one would hope Liverpool would be in the Champions League. And I sort of chortled and laughed. And looking back on it now, I was like, I'm not an arrogant person at all. Um, but I'm actually quite, not ashamed of myself, but I was like, what an idiot. I mean, I actually chortled. And like back in the day, us getting into the Champions League was like a thing. You know what I mean? I remember when we beat Middlesbrough 3-0 to get back in the Champions League. It was like the first time in 8 years or something daft like that. And now I'm just casually laughing when someone brings us qualifying for it. But obviously that's because we've done so well the last 9 years. So yeah, but the issue is if Liverpool do not qualify for the Champions League, I mean, I know obviously we recouped a lot of money by obviously selling Kwanzaa and, well, maybe not Harvey Elliott now. Maybe Harvey Elliott will come back to Liverpool. I mean, it's not looking great for him, but obviously we've sold Doak. We've got a bit of money for Trent, not a huge amount, but whatever. We've got sold Kelleher. So I mean, we probably could recoup 200 million, maybe 250. So our black spend, if you want to call it that, is probably maybe 170, 180, which is still a boatload of money at the end of the day. But I mean, if we haven't got Champions League next season and Arna goes up to FSG and says, so what's the transfer kitty? Um, one would imagine that John Henry and Richard Hughes would be, yes, so the transfer committee is something on lines of all and bugger, basically. So, and obviously, if Liverpool do not continue to improve the squad, then teams will go ahead of them and so on and so forth. Players will want to leave, maybe Wirtz and Isak and Salah and whoever else will want to leave, and blah blah blah. And then we have to start all over again. So this is this is very very important for Liverpool Football Club. Now I cannot stress that like enough. Like as I say, by the time we visit the Emirates, they need to be looking at winning 80% of those games at the absolute bare minimum. I shudder to think if we don't win the first 3 or 4, what could happen, but hopefully it won't. Ericy boy, mate, you're alright. I miss the good Liverpool. So do I do. Segman. Oh, sorry, mate. I can't read your name, pal. Segmanjor. I'm just going to call you 777. I don't want to butcher your name, pal. I am crap with people's names. Like to subscribe to your channel already. Thank you very much, my friend. Hello to you as well. Yeah, yeah. How you doing? Yeah, yeah. You're alright. We're Germany playing tonight. WWE. Oh yes, folks. Yes, I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix logo. John Cena Intercontinental Championship. Malaysia. Johor Undisputed Championship. Ah, you're a WWE fan. Well, you'll be pleased to know, 777, that I will be going on Wednesday to talk about Monday Night Raw. Unfortunately, I cannot watch it this evening. I am incredibly tempted to buy some beer from Just Eat and stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning watching Monday Night Raw and all the reaction. But that will leave me with about an hour and a half sleep before I go to work, which is not the best of ideas that I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm going to refrain from doing so. But yes, just to say, guys, actually, while I'm on the subject, that obviously quite a few of you will watch me for like wrestling stuff. Um, I won't be on Tuesday for the Monday Night Raw late reaction show. That'll be on Wednesday now. Um, so basically, it's a bit of a crappy reason, but as most of you all know, I did a little bit of a video earlier just talking about like mental health issues and stuff. And don't worry, I'm absolutely fine, doing really well now, and all this sort of stuff. You can check out the short if you want to. It's just a little thing that I did earlier this today. Um, yeah, life wasn't cool like a few months ago. I'll just leave it at that. Why on earth was I telling you that for? That was it. But yeah, so I'm kind of on a. I don't want to can't talk too much about my other life, shall we say? But I've got one more day that I can take as a recovery day from what I went through. If you see what I mean. So yeah, I'm basically calling an audible, and I'm going to go and do that tomorrow. So I'm actually going to go and watch Predator. By the way, I might do a review for that as well. Just check out the channel. If I get time, I will do something. I might just do a couple of shorts about it. And basically, long story short, I'm going to go out and tomorrow night and just basically have a day on my own, pretty much. So, yeah, I'm going to go watch Predator. I'm going to have a couple of glasses of the red stuff, and then I'm literally going to come back with a takeaway and watch Monday Night Raw at like I don't know midnight tomorrow, and then I'll do the live show probably about 10 o'clock on Wednesday. So a little bit selfish and apologies, it's not going to be tomorrow, but yeah, I need to take care of this guy basically. Um, Deutschlander, Arsenal. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. As a Liverpool fan, definitely not sure how it will go for us, but only the manager and the players can get us back on track. Can we go for the Premier League, or we don't want to be a mid-table? Oh no, definitely not, Kev. Definitely not that. As a Liverpool fan, Arsenal think in the bag, but right off Manchester City, they will close the Arsenal down. It'll be so funny to see them bottle the Premier League. Do you know what, Kevin? To be honest, I'm sure yeah won't appreciate this at all, but because I think of these daft things sometimes in my like weird galaxy brain that I'm possessed with sadly. And I've just got in my head Arsenal basically destroy Liverpool in the league, run away from Manchester City in the league, and they're literally about to win with the last kick of the game at the Emirates. The place is ready to explode. And somewhere in the northeast, Granit Xhaka belts one in for Sunderland from 30 yards, and Sunderland win the Premier League. And look, I'm sure, yeah, will not agree with me on this, but I mean, you're talking half of the football supporting nation would be. I mean, you'd literally it would be an absolute bloody hysterics. I don't think Newcastle fans would be hugely impressed with that, but yeah, will that happen? I'd probably say not, to be honest. Like I said, Kev, I wouldn't say Arsenal have got it in the bag. Obviously, they are going to have to play well. I agree with you that Man City can chase them down, and if anyone can do it, it can be Man City. I mean, they've done it to us like God knows how many times. Obviously, I mean, I'm so grateful to have won two Premier Leagues in the last 6 years because, like I said, I never thought that we'd win any whatsoever. But I mean, realistically, you have to say we probably should have had what 3 to 4. Um, I mean, there was the year when we won the Champions League. I mean, that one would have been difficult, but I mean, we had what a 7. I mean, we had. I can remember a point where we beat Arsenal 5-1 in one of the most absurd football games I've ever seen. So literally, Arsenal, it was like a bloody pinball machine. And like even when Liverpool were 5-1 up against Arsenal, Arsenal was still going for it, and they were hitting the post and this, that, and the other, and it was just like, what is going on this match? Anyway, we beat Arsenal 5-1, and we went 10 points clear of Manchester City. And I want to say that was just before New Year's Eve or something on them lines. And then I think City had to go to Sunderland, who at the time I don't think were doing too badly. And there was a point in that match where it was 1-1, and you're like, well, I mean, 9 point leads. You know, their only trouble is I think City scored a couple in the last 20 minutes, and then they beat Liverpool at the Etihad. It was when Leroy Sané scored that goal and ran half the length of the field. So in the space of a week, the lead went down from, I want to say, what was it, 10 points to 4, and then we had Everton and Man United on the bounce, and basically we ended up losing the league by about a point or 2 points or something ridiculous like that. So yes, we'll have to wait and see. Kevin, let's have a look. Yeah, 23 years. 23, what, since 23 years? Since what, since you won the league? No, it can't be that long, surely. 23. I'm going to say something really daft. What year are we in at the minute? 23 years. Did Arsenal win the league in 2004? I think it was the last one, wasn't it? So that'd be. Yeah, it'd be 22. Yeah, 22 years. Yeah, I take the point. Let's have a look. See, dude, I'm just going to call you 107. I can barely see your name, I'm afraid. Czech Republic beat Gibraltar 6-0. Oh, congratulations, lad, congratulations. Um, yeah, stories about Czech Republic. I have got a story about the Czech Republic. What an absolutely boss city Prague is. I went to Prague many, many years ago. Prague's what a brilliant city. I absolutely bloody loved it. I can't remember too much of it, to be honest, because I was basically pissed off the time I was there. But excuse my language. Um, enjoying the local beer. Yes, that's what I meant to say. But yeah, no, me and the lads went over there about 15 years ago. We got absolutely hammered for about 8 days because obviously back in I don't know if it's still the same thing in the Czech Republic, but obviously back in the day, the conversion rate of pounds to euro, which I think Czech Republic were at the time. Maybe I can't remember, to be honest. Apologies if that's not right thing. But we went into this boozer in Prague, and I forget where it is. It was where it was near where the main hub for the tram system in Prague is, which won't mean anything to anyone. Anyway, so we go into this bar, and there's like 9, 10 of us lads, and we're all drunk from the plane already. So we waltz into this bar, and we were like, "Oh, can we have 10 beers, please?" And then the people sort of looked at us and went, "English?" And we were like, "Yeah, I know it." All right. It's like, and then the woman actually said, "Shall I just get you 20?" Just like, yeah, go on then, fine. So this woman brings like literally with three of her friends 20 of these beers, and they were like, "Oh, go on, Gabsy, you can pay for it." I was like, "Fine, I'll get the first round. At least that's my round up." And I said, "How much is it, please?" And the woman basically said it in euros, whatever it was. And you know, how British people have got like calculators when they go to abroad that are trying to work out how much things cost and everything. And I worked it out, and I was like, 20 beers, that's just cost me 13 quid. Huh. And that's how cheap it was, and I couldn't believe it. But yeah, Prague is awesome, dude, awesome. Big up Milan Baros, by the way, what a player. And the immortal Patrick Berger, what a player. And also Vladimir Smoitzer, hero of the best ever European Cup final in 2005. No prizes for guessing who won that. Let's have a look. Greetings from Germany. Any questions for a German? There are two Germans. Three Germans? There we go. Two Germans. There you go. I'll let you guys chat amongst yourselves. Yeah, of course, mate. You're absolutely more than welcome. More than welcome. Any questions for a German? If you know Jurgen Klopp, that would be awesome. No, I'm only joking, mate. I'm joking. You're more than welcome to join in, pal. Absolutely more than welcome. What else was I quickly going to talk about? Yeah, just to say the Forest match that we've got coming up. I am not looking forward to the Forest match. It's a terrible, terrible match to come back to. Because look, Sean Dyche is not. He's just going to play. you know exactly how he's going to play, and he's just basically Forest are going to try and do what they always do against us, going to try and frustrate us, and Liverpool cannot get frustrated. Um, um, yeah, Liverpool cannot get frustrated. We've got to make sure that we but well, yeah, basically, for want of a better phrase, do not get frustrated. So if we haven't scored by the 70th minute, and this is where the crowd needs to be into it as well, like people just need to chill the F out and let the players crack on with it. Look, if we end up scoring in the 85th minute and winning the game, fine. But do not, under any circumstances, get like really angry with the players. We need to get behind them because I mean, if we lose that first match, I mean, it's going to go very, 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 very badly. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But to say that I'm not looking forward to that would be an understatement. In terms of a team, by the way, I've got my team would be, and this is probably a bit controversial. I wouldn't play Alison Becker. Before you all shout at me and say what an absolute fat idiot, uh, my concern is I know Becca is fit again, but the Christmas period is very, 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 very intense. Very intense. And if I'm not much mistaken, I think I'm fairly sure Alison's done his hamstring or something like that in at least a couple of the Christmas periods. Um, so I would just bring him back gently. Look, as long as he's ready for like West Ham, I mean, you could probably get away with Mamadashvili playing against PSV with all due respect to them. So I would still play Mamadashvili. I think he's actually played pretty well, to be honest, all things considered. Obviously, Mamadashvili is going to be our number one goalkeeper. Look, you don't spend nearly 40 odd million quid on a goalkeeper if he ain't going to be your number one player. So, like, I'd be very surprised if he hasn't replaced Becker in the next 18 months. Um, so I would stick with Mamadashvili. I'd stick with Andy Robbo, depending on how fit he is, because obviously he's played for Scotland. Scotland have also lost as well, so we've got loads of really happy footballers coming back. I'd go with Virgil van Dijk. Right, this is where it gets a bit controversial. I would play Joe Gomez. The reason being, I think Ibu Kanase, I'm sorry to dig out one of our players, I think he's been shocking. It's his worst season that he's ever had at football club by some considerable distance. I would maybe think about playing Joe Gomez in this one, and if he can stay fit, maybe give Gomez a run because I just don't think Ibu's head is where it needs to be at the minute. I'd then have Conor Bradley because obviously again Frimpong's coming back himself. Does he need to be thrown straight back in? I would probably suggest not. I'd definitely just have McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberg, just the core three midfield. And then up front, what have I put? I would go with Mo Salah, Alexander Isak, and Hugo Ekitike. In fact, I'd play Salah in every single game now and run him into the ground before he goes to Egypt, to be quite honest. No disrespect to Egypt whatsoever, no disrespect to the fans, but obviously I'm looking at it from a Liverpool point of view. And, like, this is the other thing. We lose Mo Salah literally in 3 weeks. And again, I know he hasn't played very well, but this is still one of the best footballers in world football. So make use of him while we can do. The Isak thing, as I've said this a few times, he's got to start scoring some goals. Put it this way: if Mo Salah comes back with the Afcon trophy in like late January, and Alexander Isak has still not scored for Liverpool, something has gone very, very wrong. I mean, like I said, for me, Arna needs to get 80% of those matches won, and I think Alexander Isak as a minimum. No, this is a bit harsh. He needs to be, by the time we get out of the Christmas pit, if he plays most of those 11 games, he needs at least bare minimum 4 goals. I don't think 4 goals in 11 games is too much to ask. Excuse me, for 130 million quid's worth of striker, because this is the other problem Liverpool have made now. Did we do the wrong? Did we do the right thing? Should we just have signed Hugo Ekitike? Should we have kept Lucho? When you look how well he's playing over in Germany at the minute, and people say, "Yeah, no, Germany, it's a weaker league." Do you know? Sometimes I look at that and I'm like, people are just full of shit. Excuse my language. The Bundesliga is an absolutely bloody fantastic league. Look, is it as strong as the Premier League? I take the point. Probably no. But like you've still got people like RB Leipzig. You've got, and this isn't just to butter up my German friends who are talking between you. You've still got Leipzig. You've still got Borussia Dortmund. You've still got bloody obviously FC Hollywood, as you guys would call them. You know what I mean? There's still boatloads of quality in that division. Look, I enjoy watching the Bundesliga. I'll be honest. I try and tune in on. They have the free games on Sky and BBC. I watch whenever I can do. Obviously got Leverkusen. Like when obviously Wirtz and Frimpong were playing for them, and they had all them. They had that fantastic team. Obviously, it was a pleasure watching Leverkusen when Xavi was in charge when they won the league. Um, yeah. So why was I talking to you about the Bundesliga for? I've completely lost my train of thought now. There was a reason. I don't know. I can't remember. Something to do with Alexander Isak. No, I've completely lost it. Anyway, the point is, Alex Isak has got to be getting at least 5 goals by the time Mo Salah comes back. If he doesn't, then something has gone very, 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 very wrong. In fact, because I'm so keen, I've actually written down my team for PSV as well. So, if anyone is at all interested in our team, it's PSV. Um, I would think about bringing Alison Becker back, but again, that's an either or for me. I think Mamardashvili is fine against PSV. I think you can make, and again, no disrespect to PSV, obviously they're a very, very good football team, but if you're going to make changes in any of the Champions League matches, it's going to have to be that one. I'd probably bring Kirkes back in, VVD, keep Gomez in. This is where I'd bring Frimpong back, just to give Bradley a bit of a rest, because obviously he's played lots of football. Florian Wirtz comes back in for me, Stobo, Gravenberch, and then up front this time I'd have Gakpo, Mo Salah, and Hugo Ekitike. For me, at least, based. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, that is what I would do. And then, what have I written here? Oh yeah, so in the league, basically after that, I'd keep pretty much the same team. I mean, hopefully Canate can play his way back into the form, but as I say, I mean, Joe Gomez is actually fit now. I mean, if he's not getting in at the moment with Canate in the form he's in, I mean, and the other issue is Canate does get injured, so I'm thinking to myself, would it not be sensible maybe just to play Gomez in maybe 2 or 3 matches on the bounce? Just to give Canate a bit of a rest because, as I say, we've literally got, I mean, what, from the 23rd, 7 days out of 31 is 38. 38 add, sorry, I'm just trying to do maths in my head. I'm not very good at maths, I do apologise. 38 add 10, so that's 48. So in just under 50 days, we're going to be playing 13 matches, I want to say. Maybe a bit less than that. So it's going to be like a game every 3 or 4 days at bare minimum for the next few weeks. So, I mean, this is the trouble with Giovanni Leone's injury. If Leone wasn't injured, I mean, there's an argument for saying that I do wonder if Canate had been this bad and if Joe Gomez didn't have the injuries. Put it this way, if Mark Gay was at Liverpool at the minute, Ibu Canate would have been out that side weeks ago. He's actually very, very lucky. I do wonder whether this is where the contract talk's coming from because I'm just wondering if Liverpool can get the. Actually, while I have wonderful Germans on my stream, guys, who's the Borussia Dortmund one we keep getting linked with? The blonde gentleman, German international, really tall. I can never pronounce his name either. Oh, is it? Sorry about my pronunciation, by the way. Is it Schlotterbeck? Schlotterbeck? Hopefully that's it. Sorry if I've just said a rude German word by accident pronouncing the bloke's name. But yeah, that guy. Apparently we're being linked with him. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, sorry about my pronunciation. I do apologise. I know we've been linked with him. Obviously, we're linked with Gay. Do you know what? For me, if I'm Liverpool, I would just go to Crystal Palace in January and just say, look, You are not going to get any money for this man in the summer. Here's 28 million quid. What do you think? I mean, Palace would have to think about it at that point, surely. I mean, they're obviously not going to go down, but it depends if if they've got serious aspirations of winning the Conference League, and fair play to them if they have. Um, but yeah, this Schlotterbeck bloke, I must confess about him, I don't think I've seen him play, but from the clips I've seen, he looks reasonably good, to be fair. I mean, you've got to be, well, bloody hell, you've got to be pretty good to be an international footballer that plays for Borussia Dortmund, so one would hope he's alright. I would just go and get them both, and maybe even just try and get a loan signing in. I mean, like I said, I'm still annoyed that we didn't bid for Heinrich Laporte. And I know he used to play for City before people shouted at me, but Heinrich Laporte was available on the free transfer. I'm not suggesting Liverpool should be playing Heinrich Laporte, 30-year-old French international, however old he is, but as a bench option, I mean, that would have been pretty decent. I guess my whole point was, like, did we need to sign Alexander Isak? And I don't want to. It's not his fault, the transfer fee, obviously, but there is another world where we get the invitation to sign Isak and we don't, and we keep Lucho. We up his contract, and he's doing now what he's doing for Bayern, and he's doing fantastically. And the money that Isak cost, we basically sign. Let's say Schlotterbeck, Mark Gay, get Heinrich Laporte in, and then we get Giovanni Leone and maybe a youth player. You've then got what? The better part of 6 defenders. Joe Gomez can happily go off to AC Milan. Thanks, Joe. Very good luck to you. And then you've still got Virgin Canate, and they just seem to have. Basically, what I'm getting at is looking at it now, they've taken a massive, massive gamble, and I just hope the gamble pays off. Because basically, Liverpool cannot defend at the minute, and the only way Liverpool are going to win anything this season is they're going to have to go and outscore the opposition. It's going to have to be the Brendan Rodgers 2013-2014 side. That is the only way I think that we can actually do this now. That is the end of my notes, I think. Also, I would just put this down. Yeah, if we're going to win anything, folks, I mean, I think basically we're going to have to go full heavy metal Brendan 2013/14 slash Jurgen 2000 and what was it 17-18 team when we were scoring all them goals. That we were beating bloody I forget what it was now. Mariba, I can't remember who it was now, but we beat a random team in the Champions League 7-0, and then the next week we beat Man City 4-3, and then we beat, I don't know, Cardiff 5-0, but then managed to lose, I don't know, 6-4 to Arsenal, and like really daft results like that. I just think that's the only way we're going to do anything. So if I was Liverpool at slot now, I would just say, right, it needs to be attack, because we clearly cannot defend at all. I think that's the only reason that we've still got a chance of doing anything, to be quite honest, but we'll have to wait and see. Right, guys, let me just read you the comments. Read you the comment. Sorry, I know you've been. Read the comments even. This our stuff. Oh, I'm not getting involved in any of that. Let's have a look. Think Liverpool win it 3-1. Oh, Kev, I hope so. Like I said, I've just got a bad feeling about the Forest match. I mean, we've always had this thing with Forest. I'm sure you'll remember. Like, I mean, this has been going on since the bloody 1970s. Cloughy and bloody Martin O'Neill and Viv Anderson and all them bloody players that they used to have back in the day, and they were the only sides that could beat us. I mean, the Forest have done us a fair few times over the years, and obviously they did this last season as well. So I hope you're right. Fingers crossed. Let's have a look. That's great. You guys just buy the good ones from Germany. Yeah. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. MT09. Germany's prime was 10 years ago. Yeah, maybe do. But obviously, like, dude, you'll know more about it than me. But like I said, I enjoy German football. Tell you, I actually who I actually like as a football club, probably because they. I don't want to go political or anything, but I like the way that German football is run with the whole. You'll have to excuse my is it the 50+1 rule? I really like that, and I really like that the way that the German culture is like proper support, not the stupid commercial crap that we get in this country basically, but when it's actual proper ultras, not like violent or anything like that. I'm sure there are violent German ultras here and there, but I mean, as in actually get behind the team, who actually like come up with all the songs and all this stuff. Um, I really like St. Pauli. I've seen like a documentary on them and stuff, and just the passion that they've got for their football team and stuff, and how creative all the fans are. So I'd love to come and see a match in Germany. I'm not just saying it because you guys are on, but I've always wanted to see Dortmund. Um, Obviously, Bayern, it goes without saying, is a bit of a tourist, but the one that I read about most actually that I do think, yeah, I'd like to see a game. I'd really like to go to St. Pauli. I mean, obviously, you guys will know more about it than me. I don't know what the feasibility would be, but it just seems that they're like, proper, I suppose, happy football club, I guess. And it's like proper fan based and fan culture. That's the one advantage I think Germany has got over England. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got passionate fans here, but I just think the German fans are a lot more. Maybe not the national team, obviously, but I just think the German club fans are a lot more. I don't know what word is I'm looking for. Enthusiastic than we are at the moment in this country. I just think our football's gone very, very commercialised, to be honest. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. As a Liverpool fan, definitely Sadio Mane. But oh god, Kev, yeah, you're talking my language, mate. Those three, I don't think we knew how good we had it, dude. They were, yeah, they were just super. I do feel a bit sorry for Sadio Mane sometimes because he never gets the credit compared to Mo and compared to Bobby. But I mean, Sadio Mane himself has got to be in the conversation for what, top 30 best Liverpool players, maybe. I don't know if I'd be putting him in the top 10 or anything, but I mean he's got to be pretty close for a top 30 place. He was honestly, I can't remember Mane ever having a bad game. Well, apart from the time when he nearly killed Edison with his foot. Uh, less said about that challenge, the better. But yeah, yeah, what a player, dude! What a player. And Bobby for me, though. I mean, just one of the most sensational players that's ever played for Liverpool Football Club. I genuinely hope Liverpool pick it up. The league is all over the place. City make me the most nervous. I still think you'll win though. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna say yeah. Did you get that name from LA Knight, by the way? Sorry. Just me amusing myself. Don't worry about it. I'm just being weird. I miss Daniel Sturridge. I used to love his. As in, yeah, you can't see me do it, but yeah, I know what you mean, dude. Yeah, honestly, dude, like Danny Sturridge is always the ultimate what if, Kev. Because let me put it this way: if Daniel Sturridge and his fitness was as good as Mo Salah's fitness, I mean, I'm not suggesting that Daniel Sturridge would still be playing for Liverpool, but it's not exactly like he's an old man. I'd imagine he's. I mean, he was what 23, 24 when he was came to Liverpool. So that was about 11 years ago, so he'd be what, 36? So, yeah, so he's probably finished playing for Liverpool a long time ago. But I tell you what, I reckon he's there for a couple more years. If you've got a fully fit Daniel Sturridge, I don't think Klopp would have got rid of him. I mean, I still think he would have like had him down the pecking order. But if he'd said, "Boss, I want to play, I want to be a substitute," I'm sure Klopp would have said, "That's absolutely fine with me." I mean, I just remember the chip again, the chip against Everton was one of the best and also the most hilarious things that I've ever seen on the football field. Um, the amazing goal against Chelsea that he scored, the belter at the Etihad. Yeah, no, he was just a very, very good player, just very unlucky with injuries, sadly. Uh, Look, as a Liverpool fan, the manager should give Rio more. Yeah, no, I agree with that, mate. I agree with that. Agree with that completely. I definitely think Rio's got to play a few times because, like I said, Kev, to be honest, we've got a lot of games coming up, and there's going to be a lot of tired defenders over the course of the next few weeks. And you've got a 17-year-old lad who's like having the time of his life at the minute, and like I said, I'm sure Rio won't be feeling bad about Liverpool. I think at the end of the day, he's not done anything wrong himself. He's had that brilliant moment against Newcastle. He's played league games to Liverpool. He's scoring goals for England under 18s or whatever it is, and yeah, no, I think you're right, Kev. I think during the Christmas period, I would like to see Ngamoa coming on. I mean, especially in that little block. So, like from I don't know, between sort of Tottenham to what Fulham. So, off the top of my head, I think we'll be playing what 4 to 5 games in the space of about 2 weeks, something like that. I would like to see Ngamoa come on at like what the 65th minute, maybe 70th minute, and just run at these really tight defenders and just rack them all over the shop. Basically, it's definitely a good shout, but I definitely agree with you on that one. Like and subscribe this off. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you very, very much. Good evening. Can I move to living room with you? I'm not sure Mrs. Meta would be hugely impressed with that, to be completely honest. I'll tell you what, I'll go upstairs, I'll wake her up and ask her. Give me a sec. Yeah, she said no. That was really crappy. I was still on the candle. Yeah, I was never a good actor. Swig of water. Yes. Yeah, no, I'm not taking any other people in. Dude. Crikey, I've already got one weird son and an even weirder wife. Um, Shout out to the missus. Yeah, yeah, she's very weird. Um, anyway, moving very swiftly on before I get cancelled. Yes, guys, that's basically all I wanted to say about Liverpool. So, yeah, just thank you to all of you for chatting away to me. It's been really, really good, as per usual. I really like the little community that we've got going. My German friends, you are always welcome to join in. Anyone is welcome to join in whatsoever. Yeah, it's been really good to chat with all of you guys. Like I said, I've been opening up on this. During the course of the summer, there was times where I felt really, really down because I was going through like anxiety, depression, and blah 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 stuff you don't need to know about. I'm, don't want to sit here and go, ooh, feeling sorry for myself. But there were times when, yeah, the summer was a bit rubbish. I'll just leave it at that. And you guys have helped me get me through it, and this channel is really helping me. So just generally, thank you very much. It's nice to have cool people to talk to. Yeah, I do appreciate it, so thank you very much. Right, I will do the sales pitch bit at the end that I usually do. So, in terms of what's coming up, just to let you know, over the next week or so, I have. So yeah, I'll be doing Monday Night Raw for the wrestling family, which will be at 10:30 on Wednesday, not tomorrow, because like I said, I'm having my like chill day tomorrow, and I'm going to go see Predator, and I'm going to drink wine, and I'm just going to have a chill out, and I'm going to watch Raw and get a takeaway. So yeah, I will be with you guys again on Wednesday night. Thursday night, I'll be doing AEW Dynamite wrap up. Can I just apologise to everyone who is an AEW fan who usually watches me for the appalling lack of quality on my last AEW broadcast. It was shambolic because I only finished watching it 1 minute before the live stream went live. So I do severely apologise about that, and I will definitely make sure the show is better. What else am I doing? Yeah, it's going to be a bit different this week actually because Friday I've got a Transformers vlog coming out of for the toy and collectible crowd because I know there's quite a few of you that like toys and this, that, and the other. Yeah, so basically in the summer I went to Battersea Power Station in London, and it's like this really cool area, really chill area where you've got all like these fancy dance shops and clothes shops and all that business. But when me and my brother were in there, we're walking along, and literally my brother says, "Dude," I was like, "What is it, mate?" And he goes, "Look." And out the corner of my eye, I see these giant model transformers, as in they were literally not far off the size of the actual transformers that you see in the actual films. And I'm like, what the heck? And then it said Transformer Shop. Now, um, this won't mean anything to you guys, but I've been a Transformers fan literally since 1985. I literally had the old school British comics, so I've been Transformers fan for 40 years. So this was like awesome. Long story short, I'm doing like a Transformers night on Friday. So there's a vlog and toy shorts for Toy Short Friday, which is usually what happens on the channel. So you guys are more than welcome to watch that. That'll be at 8 o'clock. Right, Saturday is going to be a bit different because I usually do the SmackDown reaction show. I will not be doing so this week, but I will be doing a vlog for SmackDown at some point on Saturday. The reason being is because the Liverpool match, which obviously most of you guys are here for, um, against Forest is at 3. So I'm going to be doing live reaction if any footy fans are interested. And we're doing live reaction from Liverpool Forest at around 5:30 on Saturday night. Hopefully we don't lose like Liverpool. I'm not specifically asking for a win. Please do not ruin my Saturday night again, please. Like, if it has to be a 2-2 draw, I can just about live with it, but I want to sit like a normal human being with a beer watching Match of the Day like I used to, enjoying my Saturday, not crying away in a darkened room. So yeah, anyway, I'll be on win, lose or draw. I'll be on for live reaction on Saturday afternoon, probably about 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock. The reason I'm not doing SmackDown live reaction is because AEW Full Gear, which is pay per view, is actually on early hours of Sunday morning. So I'm going to be watching that and then doing a live reaction, and then having about 2 hours sleep before my son wakes up, which is going to be awesome. Um, and yeah, that'll be it for the rest of the week. I'll be back on probably this time next week for like a Liverpool kind of roundup, maybe a preview of the PSV game. I will definitely then be doing a live reaction to the PSV game and obviously the West Ham game. Basically, all the Liverpool matches after that as well. I think I can do most of them. There might have to be one that I miss possibly somewhere in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but I'll let you guys know. And in terms of other stuff that's coming up, I will be covering. What else will I be covering? I will be covering for the Wrestling Crew Survivor Series, which should be pretty cool. I'll be doing John Cena's last match, which I think is the 13th of December, so that's like literally about a month away. I'm actually covering a live gig as well, if any of you are interested in music. So I'm going to be covering for one of my friends, a Short Dark Stranger. He's available on YouTube to watch, by the way. Thoroughly recommend his channel, A Short Dark Stranger, on YouTube. Basically, you'll find him. He's got a weird little image of his head. Basically, you'll know what it is. But yeah, he's basically promoting his own gig, and it's like, yeah, it is like basically dark electronica and like 80s synth and pop music and all that sort of business. So I'm actually covering that for him on my channel, which I know sounds a bit weird, but yeah. If you like live music, that will be on December the 12th. In fact, that's the day before the Cena last match, so that weekend's going to be epic. That should be really cool. What else have I got coming up? Oh, I'm actually going to do probably a couple of live local things as well. I'm going to do the FA Cup draw live on Sunday the 7th. I'm not totally sure I'm going to do it because, as you may have noticed, I don't do graphics on my channel. Basically, I'll just hold up some paper and say we're playing that team. So, spared no expense, as the gentleman in Jurassic Park once said. Why was it on earth was I telling you that for? Oh yeah, so I'll be doing the FA Cup draw, and 2 days before that, as another random thing that I'm doing, I'm actually going to be doing the World Cup draw. And again, no, I don't mean as in I will be pulling the balls out of the hat. I mean I'm going to be actually like covering the World Cup draw, not for England, sorry guys, but basically for those guys, the mighty Ghana, because as I'm sure I've mentioned several times, I am British Ghanaian. Um, and yeah, I'm super hyped about this now. Like, I obviously Ghana qualifying is awesome. My dad was a Ghanaian, he died a long time ago, so it means a lot to me basically. So yeah, really looking forward to that, and I'm hoping we get a really good draw. Look, obviously Ghana are not going to win the World Cup, so to be honest, I know it sounds really counterintuitive. I just hope we get some really big teams, because that's why Ghana have fought all this way to play against big teams. So I hope we do get France, Germany, Brazil. I'm sure France, Germany, and Brazil would prefer not to be in that group as well. But yeah, no, I just hope we get a good draw, perhaps even a certain country that I am sat in at the minute. That could be interesting with the lads next time I buy around. So yeah, but yeah, no, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I'm going to do a little draw for that as well. So there's loads and loads of stuff coming up on the channel. I'm, I think before the end of the year, I'm doing something in the region of about another 35 live streams, maybe 40 in the next 6 weeks, randomly for some stupid reason that I've got put down. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of content coming up. Like I said, I might even do some bits and pieces for Predator tomorrow, because I've also got a movie podcast that I do as well. So yeah, jack of all trades me. So yeah, I think that's about it, folks. Due to the fact as well that it's nearly midnight and I have to go up for work in about 5.5 hours. Yeah, this is my other life, by the way. So, it's not like I'm unspeakable or morally or anything like that. I do actually have a job in the real world, sadly. That I would love to be doing this instead of. Hopefully, I can one day. That would be awesome. But for now, I have to go to sleep, and like you guys, I have to go to work to keep this roof over my head. But yes, it's been really good chatting with all of you as per usual. Last one from Kev. Yes, definitely you are going down Mary Lane with the train for you. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I miss the old school, mate. I just miss the old school. When football was what it used to be, like, and all that business. Yeah, no, I do miss it, but obviously times move on, don't they? So, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all have a great night's sleep. I hope you all have a great week. I will see you for loads of Liverpool stuff coming up next. Like I said, guys, now the international break is finished. This is going to be relentless now. So I'm going to be on for before the end of the year. If you're talking previews and matches, you've got to be talking. I'll probably be on probably 16, 17 times with Liverpool content at least before the end of the year. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I would recommend you guys get some whiskey, some wine, and beer to cope with life, as I am intending on doing as well. Yeah, we'll come to it. But for now, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you again on Wednesday for Monday Night Raw. See you guys later. Bye bye.